the first day of March and the first day of International Women's Month. This morning we bring you the exclusive story of Grace Jones. Does that name ring a bell for any of you? Well, she owned a popular store that brought high fashion to Salado in the 60s. Well, Meredith Haas is here with the story, and Meredith, Grace Jones was a force to be reckoned with.
She really was, Jasmine. Grace Jones lived a spectacular life. She graduated from Baylor, went on to be a fighter pilot in World War II, then a model in New York, and finally settled in Salado, where she brought haute couture and names from around the world.
She put Salado on the map, really, because people came from everywhere.
It was decades ago that Betty Wiedemann heard high fashion had made its way to Salado, Texas. And with it came the Grace Jones.
And I knew right away she knew what she was doing. We talked for hours. Just, I don't know, it was wonderful. And that's when it all started.
Every piece of haute couture that Grace designed for Betty remains in her closet to this day.
These are the Jeffrey Bean. That was Grace's favorite designer.
Because Grace is a woman who dressed big names, like Lady Bird Johnson and Liz Carpenter.
She taught me so much, and I just loved it.
The friendship was woven over time, as Grace would tell Betty about how she was a WASP in World War II. Yes, the woman who became Neiman Marcus's main competition for 40 years had once been part of the Women Air Force Service Pilots Program.
Like so many women that joined the WASP, they were doing that to help relieve pilots in the United States to fly overseas.
Mary Margaret, who wrote the book on Grace's life, says as soon as the WASP program was over, Grace became a fashion model in New York.
And she was too short for it. But she wrote in little small letters, 5'7", and then in real small letters in heels, and then 5'8" in heels.
Because anything she set her mind to would get done. And no one ever said no to Grace Jones. When that chapter ended, she and her husband would find themselves back in Texas, where Grace grew up. She was born in Smithville and attended Baylor University. Upon her return, she opened the store Grace Jones of Salado. It became a melting pot for the biggest names in fashion all over the world.
And she just called in all of those connections that she had made all over the world.
For the people who would fly in on their helicopters, Grace even built a landing pad. But she also became known for something else.
Her parties were wonderful. She would get the most beautiful flowers from Norman.
Norman Northern, who, like everyone else, puts Grace on a well-deserved pedestal.
She was so revered, and the height of grandeur. I mean, this is Temple, Texas, and here's this icon.
This icon, who had Norman only decorate with white flowers and daisies to show off her southern roots. This icon who dressed first ladies. An icon that shaped the lives of every person she met, including Mary Margaret, who made clothes for Grace's store.
I couldn't wait to get home and call my mother and tell her I sold to Grace Jones.
Norman, who would be by her side through every party.
Wish I had taken notes and maybe even taken pictures, but you just, I guess you just think she's going to be around forever.
And Betty, who would share a friendship that would last a lifetime.
But she wasn't afraid of anything, She could walk into any arena and have people. I cannot tell you how people adored her, though, how they appreciated what she was able to do.
Wow, what a story. Now, Grace Jones did pass away in 2008, and then her store did end there. But as you saw in that package, it is still there, and her name helps her legacy live on. And also, she has been put into the Salado Hall of Fame. She was the first person to be put into the Salado Hall of Fame in 2002. It's absolutely amazing. And then I have to say, all those pictures are from this book, Grace Jones of Salado by Mary Margaret, who you saw in the piece. and I have to say it's 240 pages worth.
Wow.
So there's a much bigger story here.
Wow, a lot of history here. Is this her on
Yes.
the cover?
It is. That's
she's
Grace
a
Jones.
very, very beautiful woman, and like I love her fashion already.
Yeah.
And I've said this, throughout the morning, like classic pieces like that never
Yep.
go out of style. We could still wear them today if we
Still
wanted
wear
to.
them today. I wish I could wear them on air.
I do too. I wish I could go through her closet. Oh my gosh. Okay, thank you,
Of course.
Meredith.
Yeah.